I'm Dan Graham, artist, beloved by architects. Education self-taught, tried to drop out of high school. Um, I wanted to be a writer in the beginning. So when I was 14, I read Jean-Paul Sartre's Being a Nothingness, and this work has a lot to do with the idea of the gaze from Sartre. But when I had a gallery by accident, and I discovered that most artists were writers as well. Not for me. I think the most important thing is like going back to early days in art and architecture is to work for an artist. When you work for an artist, you get information firsthand, and the artist will probably recommend things to read. I think art that comes out of art schools is very academic and not very interesting. I have one very good assistant, Anthony Catala, whose work is about boyhood. I think I still prefer television as a medium. When I'm in Portugal and you go to lunch, you see Brazilian soap opera. But now we're just seeing Trump and Hillary Clinton. U.S. I prefer a station called Comedy Central, which has the best comedians from Canada. I wrote an article about Dean Martin TV show called Television is Entertainment is Theater. So I do watch a lot of CNN. My favorite program on television is Parts Unknown by Anthony Bourdain. We produced almost the first Jewish president, Bernie Sanders. I voted for him in the Democratic primary. I don't like Hillary Clinton and Trump are very unpopular. I'm going to vote for Hillary. I don't like her because she's a hawk. She likes war, but I have no choice because Trump is very dangerous. Trump admires Putin, and Putin admires Trump. In fact, Trump has many casinos, and Trump will have a casino now in Odessa. So they're friends because they both own casinos. Also, Trump's wife is Slovakian. She said that she becomes first lady, she's going to deal with women's health issues. Sometimes we vote for the first lady and not for the president. I'm really against conceptual art. I think it's taught in this kind of in a very academic way. I was doing my pieces for magazines 2 years before there was something called conceptual art. When I had a gallery, I showed the first minimal artists. What people don't realize about minimal artists is they had a sense of humor. Solowitz said his open cubes were jungle gyms for his cats. Dan Flavin had a sense of humor, but Flavin and Solowitz worked as guards for a big show about Russian constructivism in Noma. So I think minimal art comes from many sources. I know Carl Andre was interested in Agnes Martin, so there was no such thing as minimal art. That was just something that magazines came up with. That's not my favorite art. In terms of post-conceptual art, my favorite artist is actually Seal Floyer. You know Seal Floyer, a British artist who lives in Berlin. I think young artists, when they're in art school, they should start their own alternative galleries. My work has changed continuously, but what I like about art fairs is mostly older. The collectors are older. The children have grown up, and they kind of hold hands and adopt art as if they're not. The art is a new child. Actually, it's not a career. I love architecture, so it was actually meeting great architects. I know Herzog and American are big admirers of my work, but I like a woman architect from Japan, Tsuku Hasegawa, Ate Bowwow, and actually last time when I was in the Sao Paulo Biennale, I discovered the works of architecture of Artegas, Lina Bobardi. I did something recently when there was an exhibition in Lina Bobardi's house, something in Pompeii. My work is actually a hybrid. It's in the beginning, is halfway between magazine pages and conceptual art, but now it's a hybrid between art and architecture. And the fact that my work is admired by architects is really a high point. But actually the high point was when I did this piece at the Waterloo Sunset at the Hayward Gallery. And my hero in rock and roll is Ray Davis. He came to dinner. And we had a long conversation when he drove me to my hotel. I prefer to actually work in countries, socialist countries like France. And a lot of my work was actually done in regional frocks, historical parks, and I do a lot in Scandinavia, particularly Norway. My work is very child-friendly, so it's really for the family. I never think about prices, and I show only with galleries to let people know what I've been doing.